When he was Anakin Skywalker, realistically there was only one woman for him. This says a lot about Darth Vader's past, more so than anything, especially in Legends material, where seldomly, if not ever, you can see Darth Vader interacting with another woman shortly, in mere seconds. And this is where Mara Jade comes in, a very prominent figure in the expanded universe. Vader had no idea that in the end this woman would go on to become his daughter-in-law, as in fact she, in the end, married Luke Skywalker, and would even go on to bear his grandchildren, although Vader wasn't around for that, but that's all in the future. From the moment Sidious found Mara Jade and inducted her into the Emperor's hand, Mara Jade as a secret assassin for Darth Sidious or Emperor Palpatine would prove to be big competition for Darth Vader, who constantly had to be reminded that there is another right behind Vader. At times even, Sidious considering Mara Jade to go on a mission instead of his own apprentice, Darth Vader. You can imagine that this triggered Vader to the utmost, even going as far as hating Mara Jade for ultimately how talented she was. What we're going to cover today is the times that Mara Jade proved to be more valuable, or at the very least on par with Darth Vader himself in the eyes of Sidious. So let's talk about the secretive nature of Sidious after Order 66 and why Mara Jade had to navigate the secret world very heavily just to understand where she stood within the Empire. You see, despite there being several Emperor's hand, she, like the others, was unaware of the existence of any other hands. Due to her deep connection with the Force, she could hear Palpatine's voice anywhere in the galaxy via a telepathic link. Think about it, that was out of the ordinary, even for Vader at times. But Mara Jade did have this special connection to Palpatine. Mara Jade carried out Palpatine's will on numerous worlds, eliminating corrupt Imperial officials, traitors, and others who he deemed deserving of death or judgment. And when Mara Jade was involved, none of them would get the last word. If you think about it, Palpatine ruled with an iron fist. You can see here that if he sent Mara Jade to eliminate and kill Imperial officers, meaning his own, then Palpatine did run a tight ship, and corruption was not flourishing under the Empire, something that the Republic had a big problem with, if you think about it. But let's continue. Oftentimes, we would see Sidious express his connection to her, or at the very least admiration for such a powerful entity. The Emperor actually allowed Mara Jade time for relaxation, not something that was typical of Palpatine's usual style. You can see with Vader, he didn't get much relaxation time, to say the least. In addition to a personal starship and a protocol droid named K3 to aid her in her duties as the Emperor's hand, she also received private quarters on Coruscant, where Mara Jade kept her lightsaber and a Lamvarok for left-handers, although Mara Jade herself was right-handed among the items in her personal weapons collection. The cusp of her inner battle between her and Vader came some years before the Battle of Yavin. They both were in the throne room together with Palpatine. This time, though, Mara Jade sorta had the upper hand because after years of research and discovery, she finally found a very prominent Jedi Master that was lost after Order 66. That was Anya Kuro, the Dark Woman. We actually covered Vader's journey with this Jedi before, but I never really focused on one of the main points of this comic, which is this comic book, if anyone is interested in reading it. It's Legends, of course, so don't bother asking in the comments. But back to Mara Jade and Vader. At this moment in particular, you can see that they're competing for Palpatine. Even Sidious notices this, but for now, he chooses Vader to spearhead this mission. So, in seeing this, I really became interested, and I would like for you guys to talk to me in the comments. Do you think Mara Jade would have ever been able to actually become Palpatine's apprentice? At the very least, remove Vader from his superior position. This is the question of the day. Talk to me down in the comments. You know, being the Emperor's hand, aka assassin and all that, not to mention stunningly beautiful, but what do we actually know about her? In all of my years here, I've never really made anything about Mara Jade because sometimes we focus a lot on canon and what's happening right now, but if we do that, we fail to realize the importance of this woman and how involved she actually was with some of the biggest characters in Star Wars. We're talking about Vader, we're talking about Sidious, and of course, who could forget Luke Skywalker? In fact, she became his wife later on. So before we talk about what Sidious called Mara Jade or what he said about her, let's learn where she comes from. Now, Mara Jade was born in 17 BBY during a time of great instability as Emperor Palpatine and Vader were eliminating the remnants of the Jedi Order. The Emperor took Jade from her parents and brought her to the planet Coruscant at a very young age, where he began to train her in the Force, although officially she was one of the Imperial's dancers. That's how she was registered. Years later, Mara Jade remembered just a little about her early life besides her parents' reluctance to let her go and her own certainty that she was going to leave with the Emperor. She did recall at one point that she had a falling star globe as a child and had gotten in trouble after breaking it to see how it worked. Sadly, this is the only thing remaining in her memory about her childhood. Her master trained her in the ways of the Force and she was made into an agent of the Empire. But again, as you might remember that we said earlier, some of the Imperial staff inside the palace still assumed her to simply be a dancer or one of Palpatine's concubines. However, this is what Palpatine said about Mara Jade personally.
She is, shall we say, an experiment.
Chilling. Am I right? Throughout Mara Jade's youth, she was pushed through an intensive training regimen, which involved training alongside the Imperial Royal Guard and learning covert espionage and assassination skills, at which she was adept by the age of 14 and became an Emperor's Hand, one of Palpatine's personal assassins, after a final test in which she successfully broke into Grand Moff Tarkin's private quarters. In order to accomplish her mission, Mara Jade, posing as a guest at a formal event at Tarkin's residence, pretended she was ill in order to get away from the other guests. She then retrieved a sack of equipment and descended down the side of the building to the room containing Tarkin's private safe. While she was breaking in, a group of guards came in, who were actually droids, and she engaged them with her blaster and lightsaber. However, upon sensing that one of the guards was living, she knocked him out rather than kill a soldier willing to give his life in a training exercise. Vader and Sidious were pleased with her skills, and she was then pronounced officially as the Emperor's Hand. Not a lot of backstory about her, as you can see, and this is the closest we can get to her origins. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I would love to know what you guys think about Mara Jade. And if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up, hit that bell to get notified the moment a new video is out. Have an awesome day, my Star Wars friends, and may the Force be with you always.